when you were younger, or something that inspired you to get into science and engineering? Like, is there an event or something you really enjoyed when you were a child that, or in high school, that pointed to you being an engineer, do you think?
Not really. It just came. I literally got two choices, either medicine or engineering. That's the choice I had. And I don't like medicine, so I chose engineering. I like to break things apart, even if it's not working, or if a good working condition, if it isn't a good working condition, I like to break them and see what is inside. Maybe that's just an inner thought or feeling, maybe that was always in there, and maybe that blew up then, maybe after growing up.
Yeah, definitely. An engineer's the kind of person who would take something apart and wonder how it works.
Yeah, and I don't want to get into like no programming as well. I want like literally a hardware oriented job. So when my friends, even after doing electrical engineering, they went to IT background, like software developers, something to completely into IT, I was like, no, I don't want that kind of job. I want something into core companies, and I stick to that.
My father's a mechanic, so from year dot, I was being involved in taking things apart, putting things back together, figuring out why things don't work. I was helping him build floors, even stuff like hanging up the Christmas lights, because it's like something to do, and like you've got to think about it and strategize it, and really figure out exactly what the most optimum way to do it is. I was always a very logical, very scientific mindset from a very young age, and that will be in part due to him, but also I wanted to be an astronomer for years when I was at school, but I'm not very good at maths. So that kind of dulled that enthusiasm, and I ended up going into a second love for my actual degree, which was genetics and biochemistry. And then I found myself back here through being in the local area, but I've always had that passion for science, and that's all you really need for most branches of science is passion and wanting to just give it a shot. And as long as you know how to think in a scientific way, you can do it.
Yeah, feeling like you can give it a go.
Yeah.
Have you guys had any particularly good experiences in engineering that come from being a woman? Like, did you engage with any societies at university that encouraged women, or did a woman inspire you or encourage you to do STEM?
In universities, like getting into clubs out of my own interest in the beginning, and then when you see the chairperson of the club is a woman and she leads that so good, oh, will I be in that position one day? You'll be like, oh, maybe I should be that. That felt so nice for international students, just for women scholarships in certain universities. That's a good thing. Women can make use of that as well.
Yeah, I think that's really important, making space for women, and sometimes you just need a little bit of encouragement and someone to look up to, or a scholarship or something that tells you you're actually doing well, you're doing okay. So what do you guys enjoy best about being an engineer? Not just a woman in engineering, but an engineer in general.
It's quite nice and fun to deal with things, and then you can break things and put back together, you can repair it. That's quite fun.
Yeah, I definitely find like having the skills to bring my ideas into the real world. If I want to make something, then there's a good chance I could have a go at it.
It's a good creative outlet, definitely being within engineering, because a lot of people don't think about engineering and the more mechanical side of science being creative, but everything we touch and do has been designed by somebody.
Yeah.
And so having an outlet to that and being able to touch that from a creative standpoint within this company as well is such a lovely thing.
Right, so I really love the designing process, and also the fact that it starts with me doing some calculations, or like choosing components and looking at the data sheet, and then the design keeps progressing, and more people gets involved in it, and we have a PCB design, and we have a 3D model, and then eventually at the end we have a physical thing in my hands, and it works, and that's exactly what I designed it to, or not, but then I will sort it. So yeah, I have a physical prototype that works and exactly as I intended, and it all started with me doing some calculations in Excel, and I think it's great to have this product really coming to life. And after that, it goes even further, because after I tested and approved the prototype, it goes to manufacturing. After that, marketing came in, and I see the ad or pictures on our website about the product, and I think, oh, I can design that, and it's a very good feeling.
Yeah, I like my job the most is figuring things out and creating patterns within patterns and identifying patterns within the design that I actually do on the circuit board, getting the neatness of everything done and the continuity, and then just to tip it all to know that I can take a concept and make it become reality, because without a circuit board, electronics is nothing.
When I started my career in IT, what I really liked was that sense of building something that worked and contributed to the business. As I've progressed, I've got to see all areas of different businesses, and you know, just to get that oversight and see what makes a business tick, and to then take IT and apply it to, you know, best meet the business needs. I find really rewarding. So you know, I definitely recommend a career in IT to anybody that really wants to fundamentally understand what makes a business tick and how they can help a business grow. I'd been, you know, kind of like 2 of 40 in higher education, and yeah, expected it to be getting more around the 30% mark. But no. So there's still a huge amount of work to be done. I've had a great career. It's been so interesting. I've worked on so many amazing different projects in different roles, worked towards some really good ends, and just feel saddened that so far in my journey I've had so little experience of working with other women.
No, sometimes they force themselves to be independent because of the struggles they faced, or they saw someone facing it because of being a woman. They may be suppressed down. So you're not working, you're not independent, you're not earning anything, you're doing nothing to contribute this family. The woman who is saying that, she thinks like, oh, I have to be independent to be recognized by the society and family surrounding me. This is not about engineering at all. Just being a woman, they may be thinking that I want to come out of these systems that they created. That's when I can make myself a stable woman.
Yes, tradition when used incorrectly is just peer pressure put onto us by dead people.
Yeah, very true.
We don't deserve or need at all, but tradition can also be a beautiful thing, don't get me wrong, but it does hold a lot of people back.
Yep. Yeah.
I didn't think that by loving maths when I was, 16, that I was making a gender statement. Yeah, I thought I'm just doing what I love, and that's who I am. And occasionally that's made me think, well, does that make me not right as a woman? Maybe does that make me something different? And at the end of the day, it's those kinds of feelings that put people off long-term careers.
I think as well because people don't see engineering as being feminine.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have an issue with that, where people bake cakes, people make little computers.
No.
You're still making something, you're still going to the effort of doing that thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm making some little flashing earrings that will remind me to drink water. And I think, engineering is what you make of it.
I would absolutely do engineering again. I would happily go back into electrical and electronic, which is my degree, or continuing on to mechanical as well. I think there's absolutely nothing that should stop anybody from doing engineering. The only thing that you really need to be is interested in it, and that's reason enough to give it a go.
Yeah, if I was going to have my time again, I would do engineering again, specifically electronics or electrical engineering. Again, it's just something that means I can make something physically with my hands. There is no greater feeling than when you've been designing a circuit for months and it finally works, or when you get a product back and it looks great. It looks like some polished piece of something that you would buy from a shop and you think, I made that, I know what's going on in there. That's a great feeling. And to a young woman who, like me, was interested in maths, I would say, try not to listen to anyone else and be confident in yourself. Don't let other people's comments affect you in any way. There's no such thing as the perfect engineer or the perfect scientist. Everyone's different, and whether you're a woman or not, you know, stick with what you love.
That's it for episode 1. Please join us as we continue to discuss further topics such as imposter syndrome, hiring bias, and more in the next episode.